Brian's like, oh, our podcast is starting to get some traction. I think we should talk about religion. And I'm like, oh, great. Our podcast is finally getting some traction. Let's scare everybody away.
So I gather people around. I go, hey, we are all gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word life, and that means forever. And that is a mighty long time.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. I don't know the next line. How do I do it? I've done it 1,000 times and I can't remember.
You're starting to lose your short-term memory?
No. Electric word life, and that means forever. That's a mighty long time. I mean to tell you, there's an afterworld. A world where everything changes. You can always see the sun, day or night. So when you call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, you know the one you talk to make you feel all right? You're crazy. Poon child.
Love it. I think that gives me the topic I'd like to talk about today.
I already thought I was getting to choose a topic. No.
I would like to choose.
Stay the course, young lady.
You always get to choose the topic. One thing you may or may not know about Brian Malarkey is that the song Carly Simon, it's about him sitting here adjusting our camera angles. He doesn't think
you're so vain. You probably think this song is about me, 'cause it is. Like that?
Yeah.
See, I'm obviously not a singer. I'm a talker, fast talker, but not a singer.
Anyways, on the last episode, I think Brian said that I was on my last tour of Earth here. And some people have asked me, well, if you're on your last tour of Earth, where are you going? Where do you go after this?
Was that in the last podcast?
Yeah.
I should listen to these things.
Yeah. It was in 2 podcasts. But yesterday, Brian, we were also chatting on the phone, and Brian's like, oh, our podcast is starting to get some traction. I think we should talk about religion. And I'm like, oh, great. Our podcast is finally getting some traction. Let's scare everybody away. But now I think let's take it and run with it.
The religion.
Yeah.
Well, so that's similar to what I wanted to talk about, and that is to question authority.
Oh, well, there we go.
I'm a little fired up today. I'm a little tense, as I tend to be sometimes, and things piss me off. And I don't know how I got on this thing called authority today, but it's the most basic things. We were talking about, I was just on a conference call with the crew that runs Chef's Life, our oil company that now has avocado oil to make Danielle happy. But Chef's Life, incredible product. You can get it at all Whole Foods here in a moment and at Kroger's nationwide. Cooking oil, extra virgin olive oil, our sprays. It's just fantastic.
It is good stuff.
But it was on that. And we were talking about doing some new product development. I don't even know if I want to say this stuff. This is like top secret information.
Well, you don't have to share this. You can speak generally. I also said I had the topic, and then you just said, oh, it relates to what I want to talk about. I'll take the mic back.
Well, I listened to some of our previous podcasts also, and I've read some comments, and everyone's like, well, why does he just always talk and not let you have the opportunity? And so I thought that's what they wanted.
What? For you to keep talking?
Yeah, interrupt you. Just, manhandle, manipulate. Old man. See, I'm the old man. I got a ticket to ride. That means I can do things that are inappropriate and get away with them.
I don't think that's what it means. I think white men, their day is over. Their day in the sun, their day of jerking off in front of strangers.
Whoa! Louis C.K. I do appreciate some Louis C.K. I saw him on a show the other day where the woman was like, very religious.
I think I sent you that.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
She's like, you are not to masturbate. And Louis C.K. goes, I don't have a lot of good things in my life, and that is something you will not take away from me. And I mean, like, seriously, I don't think if there is a God, your God, our God, whatever, I don't think they're up there going, that's the worst thing you've done.
No, I don't think so.
That's like that's testing the equipment. You know what I'm saying? That's just making sure everything's working.
Yeah.
And if you build that stuff up, it's like a nuclear weapon. I mean, if that thing gets a little old and explodes, there's going to be some repercussions.
Yeah. Speaking of, totally unrelated to what you're thinking, but the original biohacker, Dave Asprey, who's turned into a total fucking douchebag, if you've been following him, he really did have some good information back in the day, but now he's just become so self-absorbed and narcissistic, it's hard to follow him. But his latest thing is that men, if you want to live longer and have more vitality, you should only come once every 30 days, which is just total fucking bullshit. It's based on some Taoist principle, but still, I think it's just all for clickbait.
What is this? Who is this? I'm completely not.
The father of biohacking.
I don't even know what biohacking is.
You wouldn't.
I think that was a burn on me, but I don't even know if that was a burn. I mean, sometimes, what is it? Stupidity is happiness at times. Like if you don't know, people are making fun of you and shit comes your way.
Yeah.
That sounded much better than what I said. But yeah, I've heard that before. Ignorance is bliss. You just sit on that deserted island and just watch that sun come up and go down and smile every day.
Anyways, to get back to where we started.
I don't even know if we started.
We did. When my friend asked, where are you going if you're not coming back to Earth?
Just a sec. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you just said. The whatever. What did you say it was?
Biohacking. It's supposedly a term he coined because he used to be 300 pounds. He was like a software engineer, like a super nerd, and he knew how to hack computers and hack systems. And so his whole point was he figured out how to hack the human body and how you could take all these shortcuts to achieve optimum health. And so he developed this term called biohacking that gets used a lot in the health and wellness space now. But he reminds everybody that he is the father of biohacking.
He's God. Is that what he just said?
He thinks so.
He thinks he's God. Now that's a lead-in for your subject.
Thanks. See what you did there. Gosh. So where do we go when we're not, here on Earth? I think it's a question that we've been pondering since the beginning of time. And I think anybody who claims to know the exact answer, they're a little suspect, but I'll tell you what I believe, which is that we have multiple lives and that when we're not having a life here on Earth, we are up in the ether and a sea of souls. I believe in Hindu, it's Atman and Brahman. There's a bunch of different religions that have different kind of ideas around this.
I'm so outclassified here. I'm like, I don't know what she just said. I'm back. I'm still trying to figure out how the guy manipulated the body through software.
Okay. Well, in layman's terms, I think that you come here to Earth to learn specific lessons. Like you can only learn certain lessons in a physical body because when you're up there in the ether floating with all the other souls, everything is peaceful. There's no judgment. There's no drama. There's no hatred. It's just pure love out there. So we have to come into this confined body to learn different lessons for our soul's path. And our soul keeps coming back into different bodies to learn different lessons. And if you learn those lessons in each lifetime, eventually you don't have to keep coming back.
Did you call me a layman? You didn't have me at layman. You lost me at layman, right? Like ethers and bodies and multiples. Lessons.
Oh, that's good. Anyways, but, other people have their other beliefs. Other people believe that, Jesus is the Son of God who came here to die for our sins. And I was raised in a religious household for my whole childhood. I went to Christian school for 12 years. I understand that perspective. And I don't have a problem with religion until religion starts killing people or telling gay people that they can't exist and excluding people from just trying to live a peaceful life.
Did you call me a layman? This is heavy. I don't necessarily think this is the religious conversation I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
I thought we were going to talk about different religions. And remember, I was getting worked up and saying question authority, meaning your religion, your government, your mom, your dad. And you've taken it to the ethos of, I think this is not necessarily that episode I was thinking it was. I think this is more about more lives.
Yeah.
Put that in fancy words for me.
Reincarnation.
Yeah. I think that's what you're talking about.
Well, no, I thought that you were going to pick up the slack. Like I toss you a softball and then you pick it up. But I have more things to say also. So religion really started because it was when we moved away from being hunter-gatherer societies. When we were hunter-gatherer societies, most people believed in mini gods. It was polytheism. There was
the sun god,
this god of the sun, the god of the rain. You prayed to these gods to make sure that you got what you needed as you were hunting and gathering and moving along. But if you read the book Sapiens, they think that agriculture was kind of the end of the good of humanity in some ways. Obviously, agriculture was an amazing thing. It allowed humans to live in one place for longer, be in larger groups. But essentially what happened is hunter-gatherer societies had to be small. And they were small enough that everybody knew each other well enough to be respectful and to behave in, a way that wasn't going to harm others because they needed that for their safety. When groups got bigger because we had agriculture, people weren't self-policing as much anymore. And there was the potential that people would rebel and cause a lot of issues. And so that's when we moved from polytheism to monotheism and people believing in one God who could punish you, who was all-knowing, because it was their way of controlling people again as their society changed, as the culture changed.
I am so Ed McMahon, and you don't know what that means because I'm much older than you, but that makes you Johnny Carson and like, it's your show. And I'm just sitting over here smiling and nodding my head, acting like I know what's going on here.
Well, have you learned anything new today? Or were you
during the podcast?
Or are you not even listening? Yeah, during the podcast.
No, I'm under the same knowledge and belief that religion is a governing factor. And essentially the rules of the 10 Commandments, like, hey, don't kill your neighbor.
Yeah.
That shit works.
Yeah.
Unless you kill your neighbor. But yes, I truly believe that, yes, religion in its earliest form was a way of controlling people. And that's where I wanted to go, was questioning authority. But now you've gone from having multiple lives, this is your last tour, see you later world, to agriculture that I think is going to turn into a seed oil conversation here in a second, which I'm not prepared for. So it's I know you're not a hunter, but you're shooting a shotgun right now and shit is flying up. That means a small compact bullet round that has lots of little fragments that just shoots everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a shotgun. And that's where this conversation is going.
I blame you.
Shooting everything.
Because I wake up and I try and just have my cup of tea and read a book. I did call you first this morning, so my mistake. But it's like immediately we start getting into intense subjects.
Yeah, I shotgun shit all the time. That's
yeah, you shotgun shit all the time. So I woke up fired up too because I was like, oh, I'm trying to fucking read my book and relax. And now I have 7 problems of the world to solve today. And here I am trying to solve them.
Okay, let's just get a little piece of paper out. I mean, that's how I make my list. I know you people nowadays use your phone and it has a little notepad thing on it. But man, pen to paper is a powerful, powerful beast. You know what I'm saying?
You're old.
Dog. Keep talking. You're the smart one today. Only today.
No, we know that's not true.
What's that mean? You're not the smart one.
That I'm not the smart one only today.
I thought you were totally agreeing with me. I was like, whoa.
No.
Victory.
We can see why that's true.
I don't think I got enough sleep last night.
Anyways, well, it seems like you have nothing valuable to contribute to our conversation. So
I do.
Okay.
Okay. You want to fight? Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I'm ready. All right. So yes, I think religion is spun out of control right now.
Yeah.
And that people are using it for political reasons, for warring reasons, for controlling people, for suppressing people. I, again, want to wrap all this around, but I want to do my own, with you, of course, episode about questioning authority, because I was going to say salted butter. That's where I was having a problem today. Like, why do we not use salted butter over salted butter? Because the French chef yelled at me, don't use the salted butter. Put the salt in the butter yourself. I was like, well, now as an old man, and I'm like,
I love salted butter, and he's like, chefs never use salted butter.
But then all of a sudden it hit me today. I was like, why the fuck don't I use salted butter?
Yeah.
Like, is it good salt? It tastes good.
Yeah, it depends. The quality of everything
salt.
is different. Buy expensive salted butter.
I'm an efficiency expert, and there's a big shortcut that makes sense. So why did these chefs lie to me? Like the priest. Why are they lying to everybody? See how I did that? Put that in culinary knowledge for the old man.
Oh, that was great.
But no, listen.
I'm listening.
Listen. I forgot what I was thinking.
Well, should we start at part 2?
No, we haven't even finished part 1.
Okay,
listen. Sometimes kids, we have good conversations, and sometimes they just go amiss. Like Gorillas in a Mist. It was a movie when I was young. Religion should be questioned. I firmly believe that when you are raised in a very religious family and your family teaches you exactly what they want you to think and you never question it. For the love of God, like this, study and look at what other religions offer. Just if you believe in your God, try to understand other gods, other What is Jesus?
Prophet.
A saint, a
prophet.
prophet. You know, go look and see what other ones do, because obviously religion's so very important to you. Why not take a look at everything instead of just being narrow-minded like an old dog and not exploring other options? You have to question authority. You don't have to agree with it, but go for an exploration.
I agree.
That was
And
good, right?
it was really good. And I think, we could go on forever in this conversation, but
No, we can't, because you're on your last life, girl. You're not coming back. That's how this whole thing started. You don't have forever. I do, because forever is a mighty long time. And I mean to tell you, or something else, an afterlife. Is that why you brought me the mug?
I don't know. I'm trying to finish my point here.
Is this a Celestine prophecy? Did that mug mean
I
something?
might want to come back for another life. Okay, don't write me off. I'm going to come back and just fuck with you.
As a plant.
It's all connected. I will bring it all back. But our school systems were designed to create good factory workers. Do you think a good factory worker questions authority?
I think I'm going to have to ask you, even though I know the answer, why do you think the school system was designed to create factory workers?
It was like a presidential thing because we needed more people to fill the factories during the industrial age.
My understanding was like John D. Rockefeller and his cronies were like, yo, man, we don't need a bunch of smart people. We just need some people that go sit in the class, do exactly what they're told. And when they get out of the class, then they'll get on our working lines and they'll do exactly what we tell them. So let's just train all these people to do it. And guess what? We're still doing it because we haven't questioned authority.
Exactly. No, that's my point exactly.
Is God authority?
Well, no, but I think that it's evident.
The answer is yes.
Sorry.
He is a figment of authority.
He is. No, he absolutely is. I wasn't listening to you because I was ready to make my next
point.
I
the
feel
way that
it's like
podcasts work is that people share ideas, and this.
I feel like you today. I just have so much to say.
I am so annoyed by you. You deal with this on a regular
every fucking day. Every fucking day of my life.
How do you maintain?
I don't know.
Girl,
I really love
I feel sorry for you. He must be real good at other things. You know what I'm saying?
Where was I before you so rudely?
Where were we?
So rudely interrupted me.
Caw.
Yeah, I mean, this is where we are in society. We have this this minority group of far right people, far left people.
Nobody in the middle.
Yeah, nobody in the middle. Because people aren't questioning authority. They're looking at their Instagram stories and saying like,
"Oh, that's the apple. Yeah. That's the devil. That's the God." I can't figure it out either. But guys, yeah, we're a mess.
We are
fucking mess.
We're a mess,
right? Harley and I are just getting out of town. You can't take the electric car because there's no charging in the middle of the forest or the jungle or the desert. So we got to take some gas.
Yeah.
Arm yourselves, people, and head for the hills.
I don't know if that's how I would end this.
Love it or hate it. That was chaos. Yeah. But you know what I like to say? Comfort in chaos.
Amen. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share with a friend, subscribe, and leave us a rating and review. Follow us at Harley and Malarkey Podcast on Instagram and send us a message to let us know what you want to hear next or have us answer your question on an upcoming episode. Tune in next week for more Old Dog New Tricks. Thank you for listening.